Hello beauties, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here with me today because we are exploring some of my favorite drugstore finds that I've kind of collected over the last few weeks, and I've been dying to film this video because there are just some amazing new products that came out. We're gonna try Milani, L'Oreal Paradise, L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted line. We are just using all drugstore products in here, and I can't wait for you to see all about how I created this look here. So stay tuned for more and my picks from the drugstore. All right, so everything is good on my face. I prepped my skin, cleansed my skin, so everything I use is down below. Let's just get into all of these fun goodies. I'm gonna kind of keep it as drugstore as I can. So I'm going to use, for foundation, the L'Oreal Paris 24-Hour Infallible Pro Glow foundation. This is for normal dry skin. It's very hydrating. I am in the shade 201 Classic Ivory. So this is it there. All right, so let's just put this all over. My favorite brush for this here, it's the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I just love the small bristles, and it just like diffuses it, really airbrushes it. So I'm going to go ahead, take a little bit in the palm of my hand there, just a small dollop. And I'm just gonna start on putting that on. And then we are just buffing it like so. I tried this concealer, the Pro Glow concealers. Oh my gosh. The 201, which is the lightest shade, was so dark. I don't know what they were thinking, so I just couldn't make that work, although I wanted to love it. Like the fact that there's like a nice glowy concealer for under the eyes, but your girl just, it was not good. It was like, it's really weird when your under eye is like darker than the rest of your face. I was like, what is going on here? So unfortunately, I didn't care for that, but this foundation is amazing. I am a little late to the game on this one. This has been out for a time, but you know, better late than never. So I just put this all over. It does give you a very nice glow. My dry skin just like loves it. It just soaks it up and gives me just a nice luminosity, but not too much. We're gonna kind of set that down a little bit with some powder, so you know, you don't have to go super glowy if you don't want to, because that look is definitely not for everyone. So just like so, you don't need a lot of this guy. It just really evens out my skin tone. Ooh, my hair is everywhere. And yeah, like I said, just covers everything. I've got a few blemishes going on like here and here, but it really evens it out. And as you notice, I'm not taking it all the way up to the eye area, because if we're using concealer, you don't want to put too much product into that under eye, or else it will kind of cake it all up. So looking super nice, looking into my mirror there. We are good to go with the foundation. This one I really like too because it does have SPF 15, which is really great. I do use an additional sunscreen. 15 is not enough, you guys, but it's you know, it definitely adds on. I do appreciate that. Now we're gonna move on to concealer. I'm also using a Real Techniques brush here. This is the setting brush, but I'm also gonna use it to just diffuse the concealer. And this trick I learned from my favorite Instagram account, Katie Jane Hughes, which I will link below. She is an amazing makeup artist, and I've learned so much from her. But I'm just going to set the concealer. I'm just gonna do a little bit there on my nose and a little bit on the blemishes. And she really taught me this trick that, you know, you don't have to use foundation all over. You can just use concealer and kind of use this technique that I'm gonna show you to kind of just diffuse it and give yourself that like no makeup look. So I have done it a couple times with just like a tinted moisturizer, and it just gives me the perfect amount of coverage, and I look so natural. So we're just sweeping this under the under eye area and kind of going down in a V, because the light really catches you on this section here. So you kind of can notice the difference there. It's just beautifully radiant and covered. And then I go a little bit here. It's just like the right amount of coverage too. Like, I don't want to look too cakey these days, and it's summer, so it's like you want that light application of makeup anyway. So it works really well for me. And I'm covering up that little guy there. I've got a little bit over there. So you just kind of diffuse it. It looks so beautiful on. And like I said, you don't look like you have a ton of makeup on. This is just one of my new favorite brushes. Again, the setting brush by Real Techniques. It's amazing. I have been nonstop using this guy since I got it. It's available at Target, and I believe it was like $7 or $8, so really affordable. So there's the face there so far. We're just gonna lock it in with some powder. My favorite is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. I am in the shade Fair Light. This is number 10. This guy is just really wonderful. It gives me a matte look. Some powders tend to dry me out so much, and I can actually see where I applied it. This one stays on like nobody's business. And my favorite brush with this guy is the Sigma Powder Blush, the number F10. This guy is absolutely life-changing, you guys. This is the first brush I tried from Sigma, and I've been addicted ever since. So I'm just doing a little bit under the under eye area just to prevent creasing and to kind of lock that in place. And you notice I just tap it like so. I'm not going very harsh with this, just kind of light taps. And you don't need much. I don't want like a ton of extra coverage. I just want to lock it in place. So you notice I'm not super aggressive. I'm not like buffing it in. I'm just like lightly pressing it in with those pressing motions there. Just a nice setting powder there. And I like that it has a little tint, because honestly, some translucent powders, they just make me look like a ghost, and I don't know what it is. I'm just like, come on now. I'm already pale as it is. So this one works really well. It's my favorite drugstore powder by far. Next up, I like to just complete the complexion before we dive into the eyes. And so I'm gonna do a little bronzer. This is my favorite bronzer drugstore palette. This is the e.l.f. bronzer palette. And this is just in the shade Bronze Beauty. This guy, so you can see it. This one I've used nonstop. This is completely a dupe for the Marc Jacobs Fantastic bronzer. I put the two together. I have swatched them. It's amazing. So I completely love this guy. I found this guy, I believe at Marshall's for $2.99. So I grabbed another one because I was just like, I'm obsessed. I love the deeper tones here. You've got some glittery, you've got some mattes. It's phenomenal. And again, my favorite brush for this guy is the Morphe M530. I'm completely obsessed with the bristles on this guy. It just diffuses it so perfectly. And I have not been using anything since I got this. So we're just gonna dip into that shade here and brush off the excess. I actually splurged and got the Marc Jacobs bronzer, but I keep coming back to this one, and it's the best. I don't know, it's like, it's amazing. But I do love Marc Jacobs is amazing as well, you guys. Those moments you want to have a little luxe in your life, see that difference there? I just like to hollow out my cheekbones. We're gonna go lightly on the forehead. And we'll do the other side. Bring it up on the forehead there. And then around to the neck, the jawline. And then I'm just gonna go in a little bit more with that. It's summer, you gotta bronze it up, you know? Yeah, and I found this palette at Target as well, and I believe it's only like $5 or $6, so you need this one for sure. And I like to go down my nose, the sides as well, just to give it a little lightness as well. All right. Now we are gonna do a little brows, and then we'll start on the eyes. I'm all bronzed up, looking good, even complexion. Let's do those brows, let's frame the face, and then we'll get going on the eyes. All right, so I'm not using Drugstore here. This is one of my favorite brow products. I just can't stop using it. It is the Benefit Gimme Brow. I'm gonna just brush this all through. I've actually grown in quite a few of my brow hairs. In the front here was a little bit lighter, not as dense as I would like it, and I've been using the castor oil, I just do that at night and I just comb it through my brows, and it's really been helping. So it's great. I don't have to do as much things to my brows. I like them a little more natural these days. I don't use a ton of products on there, but I just kind of sweep that through, which is awesome. I'm loving when your brows don't have to take a century to do, because it's very complicated to do the brows and get them just right. It just gives them extra definition. This is in the shade 3, and it's really affordable. I love it. Mine has lasted like a couple months so far, so just a really nice difference there. Now for the eyes, you guys, I was at Ulta the day this came out and I had no clue. I just looked at the end display, this like end cap, and I was like, oh, look at this. Really just browsing for the fun of it and not paying attention to anything. And I was just like, new Milani, what is this? And then this palette caught my eye. It is the Milani Gilded Desires palette. I just saw this end cap display. I didn't know how much it was. A lady came over, and I think she was from It Cosmetics. I don't know. And I was like, hey, do you know how much this is? And she was like, oh my gosh, darling, that is a beautiful palette. I need to know how much that is. And so we both had a moment of like swatching it, and we were like, oh. And she was like going on to me about how great Milani's pigments are. And I feel like I haven't even tried Milani. So you guys, the tester for this like blew me away. Look at how gorgeous this is. You can tell I already played around with it a little bit. I wore it to work one day and customers were like, what is on your eyes? Like, what is that? I'm like obsessed. As you can tell, there's mattes, there's shimmers, there are these beautiful magenta tones, these gorgeous peachy shimmers, and these are 2 highlighters, so 2 face shades and 12 eyeshadow shades, and the mattes and the shimmers are all kind of mixed together. I do appreciate there are some great transitions in here. There's some lighter shades. I love the pinks and the mauves. Like, this was just like made for me. I love the packaging. It's like, it's plastic, but it feels so luxurious with this like gold cover. You've got all the shade names on the back, which is lovely, and the names are so cute, like Would You Join Me, WOOD, Crazy for Cocoa, Time to Unwind, Most Covet Rose. So, and the black in this is so pigmented. Even the lady was commenting, she was like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to do a black for only $20. I really think this is an amazing affordable palette. Really excited about this one. I was torn between this one and the L'Oreal Paradise Peach eyeshadow palette, but I was kind of like, I don't know if I loved the shades in there. It looks pretty muted, and I was like, that's not as fun as it could be. I have like the blush from that line, which is really amazing, and a few of their other products, so we'll get into that. But this guy just blew me away, so I had to try it for you guys. Again, that Makeup Revolution concealer that we used all over my face. This was in the shade C2. You've seen me use this before. It's incredible. It's the most phenomenal concealer, and for only like, I think $7, $6, I don't know. It's so cheap. It's amazing. I'm just gonna put that over my eyes here. If you don't have your eye primer, just use some concealer. It works just as well. It creates kind of a nice sticky base too, which is nice. And it evens out like any coloring on your eyes as well. Alrighty, let's get into these eyes. Yes. All right, I'm gonna zoom you in so you can see all this magic as it's happening. All right, so we are zoomed in. It's time for some eyes. Let's go with an all over base, the Morphe brush R37. And I'm gonna go in with this shade called Naked Truth, just to set everything, dust that off. And make sure that concealer is kind of tacked down. This is a beautiful, just kind of nude shade. It looks kind of yellow in the palette, but it is a beautiful nude. Great, I think, for all skin tones too. Just like a really nice natural base. Perfect. That's what that looks like there. There is a slight bit of kick up, but that's kind of natural, I feel like. If you're just lightly tapping it, just make sure to tap off the excess. It will kind of get all over the palette, but easy to kind of, diffuse. Go in next with this M433. And we are going to pick up this shade Red Her in the crease called Crazy for Cocoa. And I just want to build some definition in the crease. So I'm going to go in with that there. The pigmentation is unreal on these. She was absolutely right about that. I'm in love. I'm just gonna lightly, I don't want to go too heavy a look today. I just want to give a little definition in there. Sweeping that all in the crease there. And I'm gonna hold my brush a little more towards the end so it's a little bit more natural, and you give these light strokes so it diffuses really beautifully. Wow, these are super easy to blend. Some drugstore palettes, you really got to work for it. And that's not always the most fun when you're creating a look. And when you got to go and live your life, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna put a little bit on the other side. It's not as even on that one. All right, this one, these purples, they're purple pinks. This one looks like Love Addict, actually. Let's go in with that one next. And I'm just gonna use a Morphe M167. It's kind of flat because this one is more shimmery. And I wanna kind of just add that to the crease really gently and hopefully not get any fallout. Just like so. Oh my gosh, whoa, I love it. Okay, and then again, make sure to tap it out and just pressing that. That'll help with the fallout as well. This one, these do tend to have a little, I'm noticing a little bit down below, but nothing you can't sweep away. Feels very fall to me, which is great. Like I'm really glad this came out when it did, because it can kind of transition into fall. And I'm just gonna go back with that first shade we did and diffuse this a little bit. Just blend it out. I'm gonna go in with this one next, which is Most Covet Rose. This one is very flaky, very shimmery. I'm just put this all over the lid. And this one steals the show for me because it's got this peachy rosiness to it. It's divine. I've never seen something quite with this pigmentation, with this beautiful iridescence to it almost. It's almost a duochrome where it kind of shifts in the light. Absolutely stunning if you can see that there. See how it reflects and just gives you this gorgeous, shimmery, beautiful flakes. Just got a bit more. This one, I cannot stop using this before in a look, and I kid you not, everyone's like, oh my gosh, what is that shade? And I was like, I know, it's beautiful. I think for just a little added punch, I'm gonna go in with this one. This is Time to Unwind. I'm just gonna do this in the very, very outer corner. Just to give it a little oomph. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is just what I wanted. Just a little something, something. I just feel like you don't have to work hard to make this look so beautiful. I just appreciate that so much because you really get kind of like, sometimes you see in a pan, you're like, oh, that's gorgeous shade. And then you put on your eye and you're like, and it swatches well and everything's perfect. And then you put on your eye and you're like, huh, I don't know about that. But these are just a beautiful intensity to them. And you really can get that kind of va-va-voom from it. I'm just gonna sweep that kind of, there is just some slight fallout, but nothing that can't be fixed. Next, I'm gonna go in with an e.l.f. little domed brush here, and I'm gonna go in with this super sparkly shade here. This is called Champagne Wasted. See, aren't they just the cutest names? And I'm gonna go in the very inner corner with that. Get a little bit on the lid as well, just that very inner corner there, just like so, just to give it that extra pop. All right, it's like so. Perfect, perfect. Oh my gosh, yes, just right on that inner lid. Just gives you that perfect glow and pops that eye even more. I'm gonna take just a little bit of that Time to Unwind, that shade there. I'm gonna bring it a little bit on the bottom lash there, just on the very outer corner. just like so. We're just gonna smooth out the edges a little bit there. Get a little, I like having that kind of like cat eye effect, but that kind of blends it in with that outer color we did. And then I'm gonna take that same flat shader brush and pick up a little bit of that shimmery shade. I think that'll transition nicely with that matte shade we just did. And kind of put that in the center, like so. And then I'm gonna grab the brown that we did first, and I'm just gonna run that through the bottom lash, just to blend it out. I don't like to do a ton of things on my bottom lash. It just never was my thing until recently. And so I don't go super crazy, but next up, this is the Lash Paradise Felt Tip Liquid Eyeliner, you guys. This is in the shade Rose Gold. And let me tell you about this. I have tried this and I was so excited to finally try a rose gold eyeliner, and it's liquid. It's just everything. It's got this little thing here, but you guys, like, I can't even tell. Like, it's so hard to do a look with this. Like, I'll put this on so you guys can see, because I wanted to love this so badly, but I really don't think it adds anything to the look. And I don't think it picks up very much in this little tube here. It doesn't flow very nicely. You get like the littlest amount, so I keep having to dip in here. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna keep it. I'll put it on for you. It's just really hard to tell. You have to like build it up, like, to get that kind of intensity. It's pretty if you're just doing like a natural look, but I don't think it's my favorite, and it really saddens me because I love the packaging. This is from the Lash Paradise line. They also have a black in here on this line, and it's interesting. I just don't know. It's not my favorite, and so it doesn't make me want to try the black. Just, I don't know, you guys. It's so sad. I really wanted to love it, but I don't. It was like the only thing that I was like, huh, see, you can't even tell. Like, it's like a why bother to me. Like, if you're gonna make a rose gold, like, make a rose gold. Like, show me the intensity, pick up the pigment, like, come on. So anyway, c'est la vie. We're gonna move on. It's all good. I think I am gonna pick up that black there. This is called Black Tie Affair. And I'm just using a little brush here, and we're just gonna smudge it into the lash line. Look at that intensity there. It's the perfect black. And I'm just doing a light smudge into the lash line. We already did that rose gold, so should already have kind of a pop. But this will just add some nice like definition. See how it just like pops it a little bit. I've been really getting into kind of the soft liner looks. I used to be a heavy liquid liner user, but for summer it's kind of nice to get away with something a little softer. This black is everything. I feel like there's so many looks you can do with this palette. I'm just gonna smudge it into the actual upper inner eye as well, if that makes sense, if that's a word. Just like so. So let's curl the lashes. Probably my favorite thing I bought at Ulta this trip was the Lash Paradise Mascara Primer and Base. This is in the shade Millennial Pink. It thickens lashes with voluptuous volume, helps enhance the wear, and it is pink tinted, which I was like, sold. It's conditioning rose oil formula, which is great. Helps adhere to lashes. It has rose oil. More than 200 bristles hold maximum formula to coat and prep lashes for mascara. So I'm completely sold with this. This was $9.99, and it helps distinguish it. It's just got the pink tip there, whereas opposed to, I also bought the Lash Paradise mascara. You can see the difference, the gold there, and then this is the pink. So you can easily distinguish which one is which. It just really has helped my lashes. I feel like you can see there the tip. It's just beautifully pink. I'm obsessed. You can really tell that it conditions the lashes. They feel so soft, and the mascara goes on really nicely. So that's what it looks like there. I just put this on and then I leave it for a few minutes so it can kind of dry and the mascara will go on a little bit easier. I just put this on the top lashes only. The bottom, I haven't tried it on the bottom, but you definitely could. And it helps so that when you put the mascara on, it doesn't turn your mascara pink. Although I would love that. So we're gonna let that dry for a sec, and then we're gonna move on to blush. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted Scented Blush. This is in the shade Fantastical, 191. I couldn't decide. There were so many peachy shades, so I just went with the one with the, that I thought would be best suited for me. It had the most pink in it, so I was obviously sold with that. This guy's awesome. You just have a mirror in the bottom, no silly applicator or anything like that. It was $12.99 normally. I got it for $10.43. So there's always deals on this guy, so... and it smells like the most perfect peach, like not weird, not fake at all. It's just like a luscious, ripe peach. It just makes me so happy. So we're just gonna dab a little bit of that on my Sonia Kashuk brush and right on the center, the apples of the cheeks there. And this shade I feel like goes really well with this look because it's got that peachiness to it, and it just looks so lovely. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it too, which is just lovely. Isn't that just gorgeous? I couldn't help it. I was like, I need more of this in my life because I have a bunch of pink blushes, but this just has the perfect like rosy peach to it, and gives you a nice little glow. So on its own, it's beautiful, with just like a nice natural look and some mascara, you're good to go, which I was like obsessed with. Now we're gonna go in, I'm gonna go in with this shade here because I'm a little scared of this one. This one's pretty dark. I'll swatch it for you. It is quite gold. If you can see it there, yeah. It's for my deeper tone ladies. I love it, I can appreciate it. I'm gonna put it on my eyes, I'll pop it in on the lid, but I'll show you the other color here. It's like this frosted, there we go. See how beautiful, like, you need that. That is like a perfect one for me. I'm just gonna go in with this fan brush from Eco Tools, and we're gonna do a little bit of highlight there. Just gonna dust off my brush, and we're just gonna go in with a light, subtle, I like to take it on the brow bone too, and we're just fanning it out on this section there. Haha! I love it. See that lovely glow? Isn't it beautiful? And then we'll do the other side. I feel like there needs to be a highlighting music. Like the heavens have opened and you are shimmery goddess, because you are. And do a little bit on the Cupid's bow. My nose doesn't love a highlight. I don't know why. It like breaks it up, but girl can try. We'll bring that on the brow bone. Shimmer it up. I like the flatness of this so you can really get in there. Okay, we are looking so good. Now I'm gonna finish up with a coat of the Voluminous Lash Mascara. This is in the shade 200 Blackest Black. And this is quite a nice mascara, you guys. I was like, hello. I'm usually all about that high-end life, but this guy has me shook. I was like, oh, okay, Drugstore mascara, you are divine. And with that base, it's like, boom, lifted, conditioned. We are set. So that's what that looks like there. This no mascara, 2 mascara, I love it. More coats, the better. You guys, I love it. Let's just finish up with some lipstick. I also got this one from L'Oreal as well. This is in the shade 906 Burnished Blush. This is their color Riche Shine, which I was like, I love it. I'm all about the shine, the glow, the glossiness. So let's swipe this on. I think this is like a perfect pinky peach to kind of finish the look. Zoom you out. Do you love that? I love that color. The glossiness, ooh, and that shimmer. Girl, honey, All right, let's zoom you out for final thoughts. Right, and we did it. That's the final look. Those are all my drugstore finds for my latest Ulta purchase. I just had to try the L'Oreal Paris line, the Milani Gilded Desires. If you buy anything, the Lash Primer base from the Laura Paradise collection is a must. I love using a base with mascaras. I think it just helps like give you some nice volume. This one also helps condition. I also find when I take off my mascara, it comes off a little easier and I'm not losing any lashes, which is awesome. I love that it's millennial pink. I mean, I'm sold. Anything pink in my life. And I absolutely love the Milani Gilded Desires palette. I think this is absolutely worth $20. You can get a coupon. There's bound to be a sale on this beauty. It's amazing. I love that there's highlight in there too. It's clearly stunning. All of the shades were beautiful. I think you get this nice shimmery, the mattes blended beautifully. The only thing is probably fallout, which I would probably just do my eyes first and then wipe away any excess. But it created this soft, diffused peach look and I'm living for it. I'm like really happy with how it came out. This blush is fantastic. I really love the shade. There's a really nice peachiness to the line. The smell is fantastic. So if you love blush, if you don't have anything like this, definitely pick this up. It's a really great deal as well. You get a lot in here, which is awesome as well. 0.31 ounces, which is really nice. And I'm really living for this lipstick as well. I love the fact that it's in this lipstick form, but is more of a gloss. It's not sticky. It just feels really comfortable on your lips. So I'm really enjoying this. I hope you enjoyed all these new drugstore finds and this look that we created together. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, for tuning in, for subscribing, for commenting. What is your latest drugstore find? Tell me below in the comments. If you liked what you saw here, if you've tried them, let me know. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, be fabulous and utterly you. Bye.